Tonight is Saturday, 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 Toronto, Canada, one of the greatest wrestling cities of all time, not just on Saturday, Saturday, but every day, soon it will be the Forbidden Door. Let's get to this show first, which is on Saturday. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Collision from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Less than 24 hours ago until AEW New Japan Forbidden Door behind the Forbidden Green Door. They had 3 matches to 0 hour. No, really. Hey, all these talents are here. Oh, let's add more matches. God, I really hope this show doesn't go way too long. That being said, some dream matches and a lot of matches just thrown together. It's like the WCW New Japan partnership never left. It's like Starrcade 1995. Except that show actually had some decent moments. That had Tenzan versus Randy Savage, believe it or not. Yeah, Tenzan has been wrestling that long. Nevertheless, are you guys excited for Forbidden Door? I am, to an extent. Let's talk about this. The Toronto faithful, very, very up. The history of wrestling in Toronto, it dates back decades. A lot of great talents have come through there. Shivani's in the ring. They're singing Judas. I hope every Blue Jay, Maple Leaf, and whatever other sports team fan that there is, I hope they never win a championship. You're going to sing Judas? He's from Winnipeg, you idiots, because Jericho said that. Because Jericho's reminding us of when more people watched wrestling. That was back in 2009, by the way. That quote is almost 14 years old. So, anyway, they're wondering. Sammy's not there. It's Jericho and Suzuki. Suzuki's just standing there like, ha ha ha, I'm Minoru Suzuki, bitch. I'm just here. He's smiling, smirking, and like, the fuck am I doing here? But nevertheless, Shivani's there conducting the interview. Well, then Jericho says, I don't want to wait to find out who the tag partner is. Since he doesn't want to wait, he's going to threaten Paula Cole. I mean, Shivani. That is a deep goddamn cut, ladies and gentlemen. And suddenly it's Sting and Darby. Darby cuts a promo. Sammy, if you decide not to be with Jericho, good. But if you decide to stand with Jericho, I'm going to beat your ass. And da-da-da. They basically cut a promo. Or basically, Sting stands there. Darby continues to cut his promo and said, hey, Jericho, our partner, he kicked your ass in the Tokyo Dome. It's not Omega. It's Tetsuya Naito. Of course it was going to be Tetsuya Naito. It wasn't going to be Tanahashi, because Tanahashi lost to Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom in 2020. It's Naito to a big old pop. Naito, Naito, Naito. The Toronto Naitos. Should be a sports team. They have a stare down. It is what it is. It was cool to see Naito there. I don't want to say Naito seems motivated because Naito always looks that, not unmotivated, just like he would rather be literally anywhere else. But he's cool, calm, and erected. I may have said that term wrong, but let's just go with it. So anyway, recaps of Miro's return. He has been in exile for a year. He is renouncing God. He's renouncing his wife. He's renouncing everybody. I assume that's her storyline. I hope that him and the former Lana, now CJ, aren't breaking up. I would imagine that he's just like, I'm going to get back to being an ass kicker. And this is the words of the Reamer. He's just going to get back to beating the shit out of people. So Swerve comes out, and then Tanahashi comes out to a pop. Or was that his knees popping? I love Tanahashi. Tanahashi versus Swerve. Referee Aubrey. I imagine it was a thrill for Aubrey to referee a match with Tanahashi. I love Tanahashi. He should be allowed to decide when he wants to end his career. He should also be told it should happen sooner than later. Because that iron will is breaking. He can't run anymore. He can't run the ropes. He's beat his body up. He carried New Japan on his back, along with a few others. But he was the ace in the ace of Japan. And really, it hasn't just been a steady decline. It's been a steep decline. He was even moving decently in 2019, for the most part. And now, my God. I mean, Swerve was bumming his ass off and also having to slow this down and take Tanahashi down. And Tana can't move is what I noted. This didn't click. It was probably a thrill for Swerve, and the crowd was up for it. The crowd really made this show. At one point near the finish, Tana slipped off the top. I'm like, oh, Tana, please. He eventually hit the high fly flow 1, 2, 3, but that was rough. And then MJF's on the screen. And he's going to embarrass Tanahashi that he will... they're going to open the show because he doesn't want to let a bunch of indie jabrones from Japan wrestle and then have him do what he does. You're not on the level of the devil, and MJF's a magician. Tanahashi's got that great charisma, but I'm worried. I'm really, really worried. I'm very worried about that. So, then we have Andrade El Olio against Brody King with Julia, referee Rick Knox. So, the rules will not be enforced because Rick Knox doesn't know what rules are. He probably can't even spell them if you spot him in the letters. Or Andre, as Kevin Kelly kept calling him. Kevin Kelly messing up a few names called Takeshita. Good there, I believe. Andrade favoring his shoulder. He did hit a moonsault outside at one point and bumped his head into the guardrail. Again, the show was snake bit. He did get hit with a chop to the floor. And, Brody King looking like a monster and everything. TV doesn't do justice for just how fucking big Brody King is. Brody gets his knee targeted. Andrade's trying to get to, set up for the figure four. There were a few decent moves, but good God, the DVD into the corner was rough. Julia ends up distracting, taking Andrade's mask, and then the figure four. Buddy runs in, causes a DQ. So the second collision in, and we already have a DQ finish. But then again, it's a balance, because you don't want the referees to ignore the interference and all that stuff, and ignore the counts, and ignore the bullshit. But at the same time, you don't want to overdo DQ thing. That's one thing I'll give AEW credit for, is they haven't overdone the DQ thing. And then we get a mauling. The Malachi's on the screen. Julia holds up the mask. I guess the mask is going to turn into a new wrestler. Smokin'. Boy, that's goddamn dated. And there we go. Blackout, and we go to break. Shivani brings out Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Christian Cage declares himself basically the TNT champion, except saying, we are the TNT champion. No, I'm the tag team champion. No, I'm the tag team champions. He said the city breeds losers, that he called his buddy Kawhi Leonard, who I believe won a championship for Toronto, and then left to get a big contract. I don't remember what team he left for. I don't follow enough of the NBA, but I know the Toronto Raptors did win an NBA championship. Somehow. He won't be like another champion that traveled the roads. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And it was what it was. I mean, this wasn't a bad promo from Christian, but it was following the same goddamn beats. I mean, really, if we're going to be perfectly honest, Christian tends to follow the same goddamn beats. Even the producer doesn't want to chime in about Christian's promo. And then suddenly he decides, I've had it. I need to chime in about Christian's promo. So the producer is going to come over here, and he is going to talk about... What did you think of Christian's promo? Because you like Christian. You say you remember Christian from Over the Limit 2011, and you weren't even alive. Hi. Are you excited for Forbidden Door? Which one are you rooting for? AEW or New Japan? No? Not even rooting? You're not even rooting for anybody. Fine. Anyway, so, we get brief packages on the Owen Hart men's participants, the tournament for Owen Hart. Look out, it's going to be happening soon. Kojima and Punk, which is kind of funny. Punk says he's honored to face Kojima, and then Kojima basically says, I'm going to fucking kill you. It's good stuff there. Joe and Strong. Samoa Joe so just... He speaks exactly like the type of killer you would expect him to be. And Roderick Strong is fine in short bursts. Hobbs and Dustin, and then Juice and Starks. Then we go to Willow versus Nyla Rose. It's look out again. It's the Owen Hart Women's Tournament first round match, and I didn't like this. I like Nyla. I like Willow. Willow has infectious energy. I wish I had a quarter of the energy for anything that Willow has just in her entrance alone. And I like Nyla. Nyla can be a beast. And I understand what they were trying to do here. Oh, let's put two big people together. Two strong women. It's like the Powers of Pain and the Road Warriors. Or the Road Warriors and any other strong team that wasn't the Steiners. Didn't work. It didn't work. There was a nice pounce and a doctor's bomb 1, 2, 3, but this felt off. That was a hell of a doctor bomb, by the way, by Willow. So she advances. And then the Outcasts come out. Unfortunately, Sarai, they allow hewers up there in Canada. I'm impressed. So, anyway, they try to attack, but Sky Blue comes down with a chair and says, I have a chair. You can't beat me. And then Lexi's with Scorpio. He's back, and he's ready to be his true self, and then shuts the lights off. And then House of Black is like, the fuck? That is our gimmick. You remember when the lights turned off? You actually came in, and you wondered why they turned the lights off again. So what do you think of Hobbs taking on that big Afro dude? Jeremy Prophet, what did you think? What did you think? You thought his hair was huge? You did. That is my face. You do not need to put your claws in my face. Hi. You want to be in here. You're going to be on camera because people love you. Saturday. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop bothering the producer one of these days. Yeah, Hobbs beat a guy named Jeremy Prophet. Or Jeremiah Prophet. Maybe Jeremiah was a prophet frog. Forbidden Door card rundown. MJF is going to make his in-ring debut on Collision next Saturday. The entrances take about 5 minutes. Punk got some cheers, but mostly got booed because Toronto is a very vocal crowd. Also, Toronto doesn't have much to root for. I kid. Punk is a divisive figure, and you know what? I'm all for split reactions. I'm all for him getting cheered wildly here and then booed wildly over here. I'm all for it. FTR, CM Punk, FTR, and Starks against Juice, Jay, and the Guns. I still don't get it with the Guns, but in 8-man tags, they're fine, I guess. The crowd was absolutely making this match. Punk loved the fact that the crowd was booing him. He sold his ass off a lot. I'm not going to get into a lot of moves in this match, but great ebbs and flows. This is just as good as the 6-man tag they had last week. Hey, great 6-man main event, great 8-man main event. Almost like when you present a wrestling product, fans will actually tune the fuck in instead of having cartoonish bullshit. And that goes for both fucking companies, by the way. Anyway, this is so well paced. Punk's selling like crazy. Eventually tags Ricky. We do get a melee. I was worried the Cash had crashed really badly on that dive. And then we get 1 spear, 2 spears, 3 spears. And then Ricky goes for another. Gets into the ropes. Juice, left hand of God. 1, 2, 3 after a Blade Runner. Because I got ahead of myself there and forgot to mention the Blade Runner got hit. Yeah, the Blade Runner got hit, and I'm worried they're just going to job the fuck out of Ricky. Even if Ricky ends up winning the Owen Hart tournament, is it really going to make a difference? I mean, hopefully it does. Anyway, Grayson and ELP is going to be... Stu Grayson and ELP are going to be on the 0 hour. Swerve, Khan, Kaun, Toa Leona versus Trent, Rocky, and Despy. That's what they're doing with El Desperado, one of the best New Japan talents of the last 5 years. Fletcher, Cobb, and unfortunately TJP against Shingo, Bushi, and Hiromu. That's what they're doing. I can't believe that. Okay, so you're picking ELP. You're picking LIJ. And for some reason, you wanted to cheer TJP, and then I told you how he treats women, and then you just kept staring at the ceiling, hoping that I was wrong, and that I would that you would be able to ignore me, and you would be able to do that. Hi. So anyway, folks, that is it. We're on the Forbidden Door, and if you join for the review, people are going to love you. Agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. This is the producer. This is Sir. Adopt, don't shop. Hi. See you soon.